So welcome to our final project. For the project, we use Tableau to visualize the Google stock performance, focusing on key metrics like total trading volume and monthly closing price. Tableau's feature allow us to present this data interactively by highlighting the trading volume, a comparison of monthly trading volume and average closing price. We also add the navigation panel on the left, helps the user easily explore different aspects from historical trend to detailed stock insights. Then we will moving on to the introduction parts. Okay, so this dashboard provides a user-friendly way to analyze Google's stock performance, helping users track the trends and assess volatility and make informed investment decisions. We use dataset with 6 columns and 4,718 rows, featuring key metrics such as open close price, high-low price, volume, and date. These data points allow us to monitor price movement and trading volume over time. We also offer a view of real-time stock data from Google Finance, which gives us insight into the stock's daily movements. I'll move on to the stock recommendations. Google stock is suitable for both long-term investors seeking stability and active traders looking for volatility-based opportunity. By watching price fluctuations and global events, investors can make data-driven decisions to maximize their return. And then we will moving on to our historical overall part.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the historical review about the price. And in the up graph, there is the stock price trend line, and we can see in 2005 to 2007 there was a steady rise in stock prices, and in 2008 a notable dip in the average price show up, and 2009 to 2020 post-recession recovery saw prices rise steadily. In 2021, a significant spike in stock prices occurred. 2022 to 2023, a slight decline in prices following the peak in 2021. We can see there have some growth periods in 2004 to 2007, 2009 to 2020, and 2021 have the highest prices, and some decline periods in 2008 and in 2022 to 2023. This trend shows Google's overall long-term growth with occasional downturns. And in the right corner, we can see in this graph there have daily price compare. According the stock standard deviation, a statistical indicator, we can see how the stock price change in different quarters of the year. A large standard deviation means that the stock price is more volatile at that time, which implies a higher risk, while a small standard deviation means that the stock price is relatively stable. We can see that there have been large fluctuation in 2013, 2015, 2019, and 2021, with the rest of the year being relatively stable. And in the left corner, this graph shows the different years stock price high versus low. There have exponential moving average can show the trend of the stock price. We can use this curve to predict the support level of the stock price. We can predict the future movement of the stock price. Okay, so let's move to another part.
Let's start with the trading volume and price changes. Since Google's IPO in early 2000s, trading volume was initially very high, especially during the first years. Over the time, it became more stable, but we see a noticeable spike in activity around 2021, showing that the stock still attracts lots of interest. The price changes, which reflect how much the stock moved from opening to closing, show some volatility, particularly in recent years. Now let's look at the versus low price trend. Over the years, we see a steady upward movement in Google's stock price. Both the high and lows are rising constantly, which is a strong indicator for long-term growth. Of course, there have been some dips along the way, especially around 2022. But the important thing is how quickly the stock have bounced back. Has proven itself to be resilient investment, even in tough time. Moving forward, the growth forecast looks promising. Although there's always some uncertainty, the general trend is positive. By 2025, the stock is expected to see significant growth. This is largely due to Google's leadership in key tech areas like AI and cloud computing. As the company continues to innovate, it is likely to remain a strong player in the market. So in summary, Google's stock has shown impressive growth over the past 2 decades, and the future looks bright. For investors, this solid trades with potential for both short-term gains and long-term stability. While there may be some volatility, the overall outlook is positive. Next slide, please.
So I'm going to talk about the stock performance. So this dashboard provides an overview of stock performance, focusing on average closing price and trading volume. Over the time, we will explore how major events like Google's IPO, the financial crisis, and also COVID-19 pandemic impact this trend. So start with the bubble chart on the left. Each bubble size represents a trading volume for a particular year. Notably, so in 2005, stand out with the largest bubble, showing a spike in trading activity, which aligns with the significant market events. The color coding help compare different years quickly and spot a pattern in trading volumes. And the line chart in the center shows the average closing price and trading volume over a year, and key events are marked, such as Google's IPO lead to a sharp rise in volume, while the financial crisis caused both volume and price to drop. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we see a strong rise in the average closing price, reflecting the market recovery. The bar chart at the bottom left breaks down trading volume by quarters. It shows Q1 have the highest contribution, indicating a peak activity early in the year. This chart helps us observe potential seasonal trend in stock trading, which could be influenced by economic factors. So lastly is the heat map at the bottom. By showing the average closing price by month, darker green indicate higher prices with a noticeable rise from 2020 to 2021, signaling a strong post-pandemic stock growth, and this chart gives a quick view of price change across the year. So in summary, this dashboard highlights the key trend in stock performance, showing how events influence both trading volume and price over year.
Next, I will analyze Google's stock price performance using moving averages as a key tool to identify trends and signals. We will examine how the 50 days and 200 days moving averages interact with the stock price and explore why these indicators are important to traders. In the upper part of the dashboard here, we break down Google's stock price performance across 3 moving averages, the 50 days, 100 days, and the 200 days. Each graph tracks the closing prices relative to those moving averages with orange markers showing when the closing price dips below a specific moving average. When the closing price stays constantly above a moving average like the 50 days, it indicates sustained bullish momentum, suggesting strong buying opportunities. Conversely, when the price falls below a moving average, it may signal an upcoming bearish phase for heightened volatility. I have relied on these indicators to guide my trading decisions. For instance, when Google's price was above the 50 days moving average for an extended period, I stayed in the trade, but as soon as the price start dipping below it, I reconsidered my position, reflecting the uncertainty that these markers highlight. Next, we'll compare the 50 days and 200 days moving averages for Google's stock price. The orange area highlights when the 50 days moving average is above the 200-day moving average, often seen as a bullish signal. Meanwhile, the blue area shows when the 200 days moving average moves above the 50 days, which is generally interpreted as a bearish. Moving averages smooth out daily price fluctuation, helping to reveal underlying long-term trends. This is especially valuable for traders like me, as it reduces the noisy and provides a clear view of where the stock might be headed. A bullish signal occurs when the 50 days crosses above the 200 days moving averages, suggesting potential upward momentum. Conversely, a bearish signal occurs when the 50 days cross below the 200 days, indicating a possible downtrend. From my personal experience, I have seen firsthand how this crossover signal key moments in the market. For example, during the 2020 to 2021 bull run, a crossover of 50-day above the 200 days was a strong signal to enter long positions, which paid off as the stock surged. More recently, we have seen fluctuation that challenge this momentum. Additionally, when the closing price is above a moving average line, it often strengthens the bullish sentiment, while closing below this line raises caution for traders like me. Thanks.
So I will be presenting a stock performance analysis using two important technical indicators. One is relative strength index and volume weighted average price. So those metrics will help us evaluate the stock overbought and oversold conditions, guiding potential investment opportunities. Looking at the RSI graph at the top, RSI measures momentum with a value between 0 to 100, and the key levels are 70, which indicate overbought, and 30 indicates oversold conditions. So here we can see that in 2021, the RSI processed above 70, signaling an overbought stock. This was followed by a sharp decline in 2022 when the RSI dropped below 30, showing that the stock became oversold. This shift often indicates a price correction and potentially a good buying opportunities if the stock rebounds. So currently, the RSI suggests that we might be seeing the early signs of recovery in 2022. In 2023. So below we have the VWAP graph, which combines both price and volume data. The blue line represents the average close price, and the red line represents the VWAP. So in 2021, we can see a significant raise in both. So indicates overbought conditions, which aligns with the RS at that time. Then in 2022, both VWAP and average close shows a substantial decline. Confirming the market corrections, moving into 2023, the VWAP suggests that more price stabilization, which could indicate that the market is settling after the drop and may be presenting a potential buying opportunities as the stock recovers. So by using both RSI and VWAP, we can better understand market trends and stock performance. So those indicators highlight opportunities for strategic buying if the stock continue its upward trends. So thank you. This is our group project on Google stock analysis using Tableau. We have incorporated visuals that clearly display the stock price trends and key indicators to show moments of potential opportunity. Additionally, the dashboard is interactive, allow users to explore various time periods and gain deeper insights by adjusting the time range and embed more personalized of stock trends. Thank you for following along, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions.